What would happen if Metro Man fought Superman? Yeah, this is one of those matchups that sounds simple until you actually start digging into the feats. Because one of these guys is the gold standard for superheroes, and the other casually did something so ridiculous that people are still arguing about it years later. But before we dive in, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss more insane matchups like this. Let's start with Metro Man. A lot of people underestimate him because he's from an animated comedy movie. Big mistake. Metro Man spent most of Megamind looking like a chill, overpowered superhero who never had to take anything seriously. In fact, some people even thought he was weak because he quit. But that's not what happened at all. Metro Man retired because being a superhero became boring. Think about that for a second. Most heroes dream of becoming stronger. Metro Man got so far above everyone else that saving the city started feeling like doing paperwork. And then there's that speed feat. You know the one. The entire city appears frozen. An explosion is paused. People aren't moving. Time itself seems completely stopped. Meanwhile, Metro Man casually leaves the area, has an existential crisis, explores new hobbies, reflects on his future returns, all before anyone else notices he moved. That feat is absolutely insane. Most speedsters run fast. Metro Man practically stepped outside normal time. And the craziest part, he wasn't struggling, he wasn't pushing himself, he looked relaxed. Then there's his durability. Throughout the movie, nothing even comes close to hurting him. Not because nobody tried, because nobody could. The man was so untouchable that his greatest enemy spent years creating plans and gadgets and still couldn't truly challenge him. Now let's talk about Superman. And honestly, this man sounds fake when you list his feats. We're talking about a hero who has moved planets, pulled impossible amounts of weight, survived world-ending explosions, traveled faster than light in many versions, fought gods, monsters, and cosmic beings. This is the same guy who regularly throws hands with people like Darkseid and Doomsday. Most heroes save cities. Superman saves universes. One of the craziest things about Superman is how often he's holding back. Think about it. Every handshake, every conversation, every fight, he's constantly controlling his strength because one careless mistake could seriously hurt someone. That's terrifying because it means we're rarely seeing Superman at full power. Now let's compare them. Strength, this is Superman. And honestly, it's not close. Metro Man is incredibly powerful, but Superman's feats are on another level entirely. Moving planets, battling cosmic threats, surviving universe-level dangers. That's absurd. Combat experience, again, Superman. Metro Man never really needed to fight serious threats regularly. Superman has spent decades fighting enemies that could destroy entire worlds. Durability, this one is interesting. Metro Man has never been hurt on screen, but Superman has survived things far beyond anything we've seen in Megamind. So, while Metro Man looks invincible, Superman has the better proven feats. Now let's talk about the category that changes everything. Speed. Yeah, this is where things get weird. Superman is insanely fast. He's raced speedsters, crossed galaxies, and reacted to attacks moving at ridiculous speeds. But Metro Man's frozen time scene is one of the most outrageous speed feats ever put on screen. The fact that he had enough time to rethink his entire life while the world appeared completely frozen is absolutely broken. So who wins? Here's the thing. If we're talking pure demonstrated strength, combat experience, durability, and overall accomplishments, Superman takes almost every category. The guy has simply fought stronger enemies and accomplished more ridiculous things. But Metro Man's speed feat is so absurd that it keeps him in the conversation. Because if someone can move and think that much faster than everyone else, they become incredibly difficult to deal with. At the end of the day, Metro Man might be faster. But Superman has spent his entire career overcoming impossible odds. He's beaten monsters. He's beaten gods. He's beaten beings that threatened reality itself. And while Metro Man is one of the most underrated, overpowered characters in fiction, the Man of Steel is still the benchmark. So after one of the craziest fights imaginable, I think Superman edges out the victory. Not because Metro Man isn't ridiculously broken, but because Superman's list of feats is so unbelievably stacked that even Metro Man's insane speed might not be enough to close the gap.